meeting will come to order. This is a regular board meeting of the Canutillo Independent School District Trustees. Today is August the 21st, 2018, and the time is 17 hours to 30 minutes. Please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Ms. Gomez, will you please call roll?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Brigham.
Present.
Mr. Coronado.
Here.
Mrs. Fritzy.
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Present.
Mrs. Searles.
Here.
Mrs. Trout.
Present.
And Mrs. Iglesias.
Here.
Item E, CISD mission and vision statements.
Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Coronado.
All right, the vision, Canutillo vision statement. Canutillo ISD is a premier school district with nationally ranked, multi-level graduates ready to excel in college, their careers, their community, and in life.
And the mission statement, which is Canutillo ISD's purpose, is to provide high-quality educational experience that will inspire and prepare all students to apply the knowledge and skills necessary to become effective leaders and productive citizens.
You're welcome, Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Coronado. For the persons that would like to have translation in Spanish, please request it at the front desk at this room. Para las personas que desean traducción en español, por favor pasen al frente a este escritorio. The announcement regarding item 8A, 1, 2, and 3, public hearing regarding the 2018-2019 property tax rate portion of the agenda must sign up and to be heard in accordance with the district policy CE local. Please see Ms. Gomez. Please note that each participant will have limited to 2 minutes to make comments to the board. Thank you. Ms. Gomez, please take us to the next item.
Yes, ma'am. Item number 2, the time is 5:31.
What, Madam Chair, what I was going to ask, if we could just do, we have people here for board honors, if we could do that before, that way they don't have to wait for us.
It's okay with the board?
Yeah.
Does everybody agree? Okay, yes.
All right, we'll go to item number 5, board honors. Madam President, I'm going to let the rest of the people come in before we start, if you don't mind.
Okay, that's fine.
Good evening, Board President Trout, members of the board, Dr. Galaviz. Please join us in the front chair here to begin our monthly board recognitions.
A, award of Canutillo Alumni Foundation for Education Cafe scholarships to outstanding students.
Scholarships provide an opportunity for every student to earn an education, and every student's story is different. But the financial gap in paying for college is still apparent. By providing sufficient scholarship assistance, we can enable greater success in college, providing backing for deserving students who want to graduate with their degree and give back to society. The support that students receive from their own community instills a greater sense of belonging and motivation to make it through their higher education, and CAFE does just that. Since 2004, more than $114,000 have been raised by the group and awarded to about 153 students. CAFE holds an annual golf tournament to raise funds for the scholarship. This year, 9 graduating seniors from Canutillo High School and Northwest Early College High School received $500 or $1,000 scholarships each from the Canutillo Alumni Foundation, CAFE, and the classes of 1967, 1994, and the Canutillo Sun Up Optimist Club to attend college. Please come up when your name is called. Can I invite the cafe board members to the front? Cafe Scholarship recipients. Bastián Amador. Sorry, just switch on.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You don't get your brother's
He has a check as well. He has his award with his check.
Oleg Amador.
His award with a check.
Javier Arellano.
His award with a check as well.
Leslie Bañuelos. Our next recipient has left for Texas A&M, but her parents are here to receive in her honor. Denise Garcia. Class of 1994 scholarship recipient, Sergio Salcedo. Class of 1967 and Canutillo Son of Optimist scholarship recipients, Laisha Contreras. Is there anyone in the audience that? Okay. Last recipient, Roswell Barnhill.
Someone is gonna
Okay, we have someone on his behalf?
No. Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tristan Hernandez, okay. I'm sorry. You can count these calls. I'm sorry.
Electrical engineering major. Two of them are.
Can we have everyone in the front for a photo, please? Can I have their families up?
Let's do one with them and then
Yeah.
we'll do three.
That's what I thought.
Everybody front and center, nice big smile. Thank you, good job.
Oh, let me see one pair. Light show.
There we go. Everybody.
Thank you.
Item B, our top priority is always providing safe and secure campuses. It is our pleasure to introduce our newest addition, Alice. She's the canine law enforcement dog who is trained in weapon and narcotics detection.
We just signed a new officer to the squad with a very special skill set. A law enforcement canine named Alice. Officer Alice will be responsible for sniffing out any trouble on our campuses. She's a dual-purpose detection canine in narcotics and firearms, the only one in the city. Alice and her partner, Officer Carlos Macias, are certified through the National Narcotics Detection Dog Association. Officer Macias is the first police officer with Canutillo ISD and has been a police officer for 11 years. Their extensive training will prove to be a positive addition to our police department. Can you please join us up front? Chief Carrillo, can we have you in the front?
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Do you have the body suit? Yes, we sure do. Officer Alta has it. Yes.
We wanted, oh, Alice here in the front. Alice. Alice, right up here. I'm sorry, Mary. Hey, would you still, Mary, did you still need this? I'm sorry. Alice is in the picture. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir, Alice, this is yours. You know what happened. We need to put a walk right now.
Board members, this concludes this month's recognitions. Thank you.
That's executive.
Executive session. Can you please take us to the next item?
Yes, ma'am. The the time is now 5:43. Item number 2, executive session. The meeting is to be closed under Texas Government Code Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.078. 087, excuse me. A, receive presentation from the City of El Paso regarding the tax increment Reinvestment Zone located within Canutillo ISD boundaries.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez.
Right now, we're going to clear the room.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mrs. Searles,
Yes.
Mrs. Trout,
Yes.
and Mrs. Iglesias.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 4, updates from the board president. A, talking points. Number 1, confidentiality regarding executive session. Number 2, trustee conduct. Number 3, election season. Number 4, back to school. President Trout.
Okay, thank you very much. Trustees, staff, and community, thank you very much once again for your attendance. As a school board, we are committed to the district's core values: accountability, trust, respect, and integrity is standard of excellence. And finally, teamwork. Unfortunately, it has been reported to me that some trustees from this board have decided to behave in a manner that is contrary to our values by disclosing confidential information discussed in executive session to members of the committee. Trustees, I remind you that disclosing information that is discussed in executive session is a Class B misdemeanor. Make no mistake that any trustee engaging in these activities will be dealt with severely by this board.
Number 2, trustee conduct.
It is also brought to my attention that some of our trustees or persons acting on their behalf are making false and derogatory statements against their fellow board members, elected officers. These individuals have been making phone calls to places of employment, communicating to political affiliates and community members, with the negative intention of discrediting the image of the fellow elected officers. This unprofessional conduct would not be tolerated, and legal action could be taken. Keep this in mind that election season is here. I ask that all trustees conduct themselves with a professional and courteous manner. Election season is not the time to damage the image of fellow trustees. To the contrary, it is a time to project unity, strength, and commitment to students' outcomes. Thank you.
Item 4, back to school.
Speaking of students, welcome everyone back to another exciting school year. With new achievements and opportunities to expand their creativity, and also I want to welcome the new students to their families to our district. We are so off to a great start, as we recently learned that Canutillo ISD is the only traditional school district in the region that earned an exemplary performance A rating from the Texas Education Agency. The system indicates how well schools are helping students reach their goal and how students are prepared to success after high school. Congratulations to all teachers, administrators, and staff whose effort and commitment to students are reflected at the latest achievement of this district. And as the first day of school rapidly approaches, remember that another year means another opportunity. We as a board have a love for education for all students and aim to ensure a good quality education and stability, providing the best support for students and always adding new programs such as driver's education, new French clubs, and the Medical Academy and the Texas Science, Technology, Engineer, and Math T-STEM designation. Safety and security are our top priority. We are proud to welcome a newest addition, K9 law enforcement dog, Belgian Malinois, named Alice. She is a dual-purpose detection K9 in narcotics and firearms. Alice and her partner, Officer Carlos Macias, are certified through the National Narcotics Detention Dog Association. Their extensive training will provide to be a positive addition to police department in our school district, well commanded by our Chief of Police, Carlos Carrillo. To our teachers, we pledge our support and encouragement that we believe we have the best teachers who provide excellent education. We wish you a fabulous and successful academic year as we move forward together. Respectfully, your board president, Blanca Trout.
Item number 5, board honors.
I need to say this in Spanish.
I'm sorry.
Estimada comunidad de Canutillo, sean todos ustedes muy bienvenidos a otro nuevo ciclo escolar, con nuevos logros y oportunidades para expender su creatividad. Aprovecho para darles la bienvenida a todos nuestros nuevos estudiantes y a sus familias a este distrito. Estamos muy entusiasmados de este nuevo comienzo. Como es de su conocimiento, el Distrito Escolar de Canutillo es el único tradicional de la región que ha sido galardonado con un reconocimiento ejemplar, con la calificación A por la Agencia de Educación de Texas. El sistema indica cuán bien los estudiantes son auxiliados y preparados para obtener éxito. Felicidades a todos nuestros maestros, administración y a todo el personal que con esfuerzo se han visto reflejados en nuestros estudiantes en este último logro en nuestro distrito. Y como rápidamente el primer día de clases se aproxima, recuerden que un nuevo año indica nuevas oportunidades. Nosotros, como la mesa directiva de este distrito, tenemos amor por la educación para nuestros estudiantes y nos aseguramos de que sea con la mejor calidad y estabilidad, proveyendo nuevos programas educativos, tales como la clase de manejo para high school, Academia Médica Middle School y el programa TSTEM, Texas, Ciencia, Tecnología, Ingeniería y Matemáticas. Seguridad y protección son nuestra prioridad y estamos muy orgullosos de contar con una nueva adición, una canina de raza belga Malinois de nombre Alice, amaestrada y certificada con título policíaco por la Asociación Nacional de Caninos en Detección de Narcóticos y Armas de Fuego, al igual que su oficial, Carlos Macías, que traerá en nuestro distrito una posible y muy positiva adición a nuestro departamento de policía, comandado por el jefe de policía, señor Carlos Carrillo. A nuestros maestros, nuestro apoyo y confianza, y creemos que tenemos los mejores profesores que proveerán una excelente calidad educativa. Y les reitero que seguiremos trabajando juntos por el bien de nuestros estudiantes. Les deseo un exitoso año escolar y orgullosamente sirviendo a la comunidad de Canutillo, su presidente de esta mesa directiva, respetuosamente, Blanca Trout. Gracias.
Next item, please, Sonia. Yes, ma'am. Item number 6, open forum. Any person wishing to address the board during the period reserved for public comment at a board meeting must sign up to be heard in accordance with district policy BED local. Number 1, each participant will be limited to 3 minutes to make comments to the board. Number 2, any group of 5 or more persons must appoint one person to present the group's views to the board. Item 3, the board is not permitted to discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on the agenda for tonight's meeting. Madam President, we do have 2 speakers, and our first speaker is Mr. Gustavo Vasquez.
Can we know what he's going to talk about now?
Yes, ma'am. The land that is for sale.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, board members, community. My name is Gustavo Vasquez. I'm a parent here in the community. Several people of you already know who I am. I also work with Westway Neighborhood Association, and I'm just here to speak about the land sale that's going to take place. Apparently, it's already in the works. I'm not sure why you all did not put it as an agenda item tonight. I don't know what happened. Apparently, paperwork has already been signed and everything's done. But I want to find out, why the rush to sell this piece of land? Why the rush to build that new building over by the CMS land that is being used to do the new building? Why are we in such a rush? That money, that $1 million, had been sitting there for 2-3 years and nothing had been done with it. And then the other thing, what about all the students that helped bring this program up here in Canutillo? Parents, teachers. Mr. Gill, he was very passionate, is very passionate about the program, but I don't know what his situation is now with all the stuff that's been going on with the board. You all talk about being transparent, but if you're not. And that's why I've also decided to run for school board, because I want to help that transparency be a reality in this community.
Nothing that you're going to run in school board is totally prohibited. If you will please
That's
attach to how we're going on the time. Yes, sir, but you can address nothing about running for school board. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can
Let me
campaign
know
here,
that.
sir. Thank you.
So again, transparency is not anything that I see here in this board. So going forward, if elected, I hope I can help that with that in the future. Thank you.
Our second speaker is Ms. Marnie Rocha.
Board President Trout, Superintendent Galaviz, and trustees. They say a good leader celebrates success, but a great leader celebrates the people that help bring that success. And today I want to talk about some unsung heroes in our district. Last week you may have heard that the Commissioner of Education announced the districts who received an A rating in accountability. And Little Old Cantillo was the only district in the region to achieve this A rating. I want to talk about these unsung heroes who do the work every single day. If I could have Natalie Spallone please stand up. Natalie is our ELAR K through 12 curriculum coordinator. Natalie was instrumental in bringing the Right for Texas grant with partnership with UTEP to our secondary schools. She has worked tirelessly to ensure the success of the Writing Academy here in Canutillo. Today, she just finished presenting at Garcia Elementary, came here, ate dinner, and stayed for this board meeting. Thank you so much, Natalie. Please stay standing. Sandra Cadillo, our early childhood curriculum coordinator and new teacher development. She's taken on more job duties.
I need to remind that all of us, we need to refrain from clapping. Unless, exactly. I know we're celebrating, but there's a law.
That's okay. We won't clap. We're just going to do like, we'll just put fingers up if we want to. But
thank you very much.
Early childhood and new teacher development. She got us the pre-kindergarten grant. She started the Family Engagement Conference 2 years in a row. She's created a partnership with UT Austin and the IPSI for high quality PD for early childhood and completely redesigned new teacher induction to support teachers. Last summer, she and Natalie Spallone brought the Super Readers Academy, one of the board's vision, to this district for the summer. Marlena Zimmerman. Marlena, please stand up, our science curriculum coordinator. Have you seen our science fairs recently? Instead of our students waiting around to be judged for their projects, she has zombie breakout rooms, robotics, STEM activities in our science fair. Our district had the largest showing of students participating at the Fort Bliss Robotics Showcase. And we do not have any schools on our PEG list at all for science. Ms. Stacy Parker, who is our Advanced Academic Social Studies Curriculum Coordinator. She was the newest person on board, and so we gave her the responsibility of bringing the GRIT conference to the teachers of Canutillo, and she did it. She was a team leader. She's working so much at bringing TSI scores to 8th grade and Springboard. Dr. Yura Valverde. Dr. Yura Valverde, great member of our team. When I asked her what her goals were in Canutillo, she said it was to bring the best math program in Canutillo. I just want to acknowledge these. I wonder if I could have another minute. Okay, never mind. I just want to say what great people they are, and I'm proud to be working with such wonderful individuals.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rocha. So we're going to move to the item 9, Ms. Sonia.
Yes, ma'am, give me 1 moment.
So it's about the
Item number 9, consent.
I move to approve the agenda as presented, excluding item B4.
Madam Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like B1 and B7, please.
Yes, ma'am. And,
Madam Chair, if I might,
yes, go
just
on.
real quick, if we could have staff wait in a little bit because we had a loss of surprise. Yeah, a little bit.
Just let us do this. Yes.
Yes, I'd like to have A2, the monthly financials.
A2, which one was yours, ma'am? 7? 7.
Okay, so we have A2, June financials. We have B1,
What's that?
4, and B7.
Okay, talking about the Kids Excel, I love this program. It's a wonderful program, and I'm so thrilled that we're going to have it here. But the only thing is, oh, didn't we vote on this? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we need to vote on this in your item, and my item.
All right, so there was a motion to approve the consent agenda excluding A2, B1, B4, B7. We had a first motion by Ms. Strout. Is there a second?
Second.
Yes,
I'm sorry, who was the second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Brigham. There was a motion and a second.
Okay.
Ms. Brigham,
Yes.
Mr. Coronado,
Yes?
Ms. Fritzie,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mrs. Searles,
Yes.
Mrs. Trout,
Yes.
and Mrs. Iglesias.
Yes.
Alrighty, then we will go to A2, approval of,
I had a question in regards to the overall consent agenda. There's been an item that we have not approved and I would like to bring it, which is the minutes, I believe, of last year where, so if we could bring that to the next meeting, I don't think, we have to approve those minutes. In regards to this, the consent agenda, we usually approve minutes, and one hasn't been approved. Am I correct in saying that, Ms. Gomez?
I'm sorry, sir, what meeting minutes are you talking, are
It
you?
was last year, and I don't want to go into detail as to
Yes, sir, I
that has
understand
not
that.
been approved.
Okay.
So on the next meeting, will you approve that in our?
Can you please include it, Sonia?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And since we voted already?
All right, A2, approval of monthly,
And in
sorry?
regards to that, there was something that was on the record that needs to be written, since it was on the record. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Please don't forget to add that.
Yes,
Sonia.
ma'am.
Thank you very much. Ms. Gomez?
Yes, ma'am. Approval of the monthly financials.
So my question,
Excuse me, ma'am, I need to recognize you first. Sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna finish with this rapidly. So, we're gonna talk about Kids Excel. Like I said, it's a very nice program. I'm so thrilled about that we're gonna have it here in the district. The only thing is I have a little question that I would like to bring to the attention of my fellow trustees. On my page, which is a hard copy, 112, number 3, we're talking about the child participation. It reads here, the discretion of the parental consent. It says that the kid will be permanently removed and dismissed from this activity. So all that I wanted to say is to substitute this wording for something else for our students, since we're seeking here for the well-being of our students emotionally, physically. So I would like to be remove these words also in bullet number 1, that the child does not return parental consent from this EAP class will be suspended. Bullet number 3 is the Kids Excel program teacher determines that the child cannot meet the demands of the program. So we would like to change this, I would like to change this wording for something that the kid will have the opportunity to participate. Thank you, Ms. Reyes, go ahead. The microphone is off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Good evening, President Trout, Dr. Galaviz, and board members. Nancy Torres is passing out the new proposal. I did have a conversation with President Trout this morning, and in reference to the remarks that she made just right now, we worked with Kids Excel, and based on that information, we made some changes to the proposal. So if you will look at your proposal on the first page, paragraph 3, that starts with our program.
Excuse me, Sonia, Mr. Rodriguez, he left it. I'm sorry, ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, ma'am.
On program theme for 2018-19, the third line that it says we meet, does everybody see that? It says we meet with all, so we changed that word to all 4th graders every week for 45 minutes, and then we added the next statement that states students with disabilities are expected and encouraged to participate. So we can ensure that any student that has an academic disability, learning disability, physical disability, behavioral disability is by all means.
It was my remark today,
Yes.
I mean this morning. I really appreciate that. Thank you for get them included. Thank you, ma'am. And then?
Absolutely. Then if you'll turn to page 2, item number 3. The first bullet We removed the word child, saying that the child is the one that's held responsible. We wanted just to make sure that it was captured by saying that the parental consent form, if it was not returned by the third class, then the student would not be able to participate because they have to have parent consent. So we.
But it's not the case of the responsibility of the student, it's gonna be the parent responsibility.
Correct.
Thank you.
And then the third bullet on that same item, we did change that to say the keep teacher in conjunction with the district officials, meaning that they would collaborate together to determine whether a child cannot continue in the program. Basically, when I sought clarification with Kids Excel, the reason that bullet was there in the first place was more of a safety issue. If the child was not going to participate, was being maybe persistent of not participating, and then there was a supervisory issue, then along with the school, they would determine whether that child should continue or not. But of course, we would bring in the parents and involve them. We haven't had that kind of a case here in Canutillo since Kids Excel has been here, but we wanted to make sure that that clause was still available so that both the school district as well as Kids Excel could collaborate together to determine what's in the best interest of a child, children, or the group. So those were the changes that we made. Once we made those changes, we submitted that to Mr. Blanco. He reviewed it and approved it to go ahead and come as a revision for the proposal so that we could continue to the process of hopefully voting for Kids Excel to be implemented again this year.
Thank you, Dr. Reyes. Is there any more questions concerning to this point? If there's any more questions, I would like to make a motion to approve.
I believe that was included in the consent agenda already.
Just to bring back my point.
Okay?
Thank you. Dr. Reyes, thank you very much for including the students, something that I really was worried about it, and I'm so happy about that. Thank you to Kids Excel. Next time. Ms. Brigham?
Yes, I'm just over the page. Hello.
Hello.
I pulled the shack report, which is a rather lengthy report, but I just had a few questions, Nancy, if that's all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just get back, I went to 112, page 112, let me just get here. First of all, let me ask my questions, okay? How many times do you meet a year?
We meet a total of 15 meetings. We do have 4 general sessions, and then we break out into subcommittees, so that's how we kind of calculate those as well. We do 2 in the fall, and then we do 2 in the spring, and then we do a final retreat, which is an all-day retreat.
The other question I have for you is, does the Canutillo Wellness Program fall under this?
We haven't really included it in it because it is the health education of the children. So we're trying to focus on the children. And so wellness, they've talked about bringing it up and kind of tying it in. So there's more of a connection, but we haven't really gotten to that yet.
Okay, and the reason why I was just saying that, when I was looking at the participants, all the participants on there were people that were your wellness coordinators at camp. So I was curious, and then I was wondering, because when I looked at that too, I know the insurance committee would see the benefit of having the wellness. So that was one of the questions. Also, on page, the brain breaks training. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am.
I think it was page 5 of your.
Page 4, yes, ma'am.
Yes. And it's only Davenport you had?
Actually, I've already done Bill Childress. Bill Childress was the first one that started. So that was last year's. And then this year I worked with Davenport's curriculum coach, and I trained all of the teachers there, pre-K through 5th grade. So we're hoping the other ones will take advantage.
Dr. Reyes, I would like things that, did this at children. And the connection with brain breaks with the testing is on mama. And I think when I saw Davenport Children's, I was heartened, but I'm thinking so many, kids that just on the cusp, even something like this, okay, you know that it connects. So when I saw that, I just wanted, if
how. During the GRID conference, Nancy Torres did present several occasions, and during those particular sessions, she did promote the brain breaks. And then also, because teachers were participating in those sessions, she did say, you know what, take advantage of this if you want me to come out to your campuses. So she was soliciting about coming out and sharing those brain breaks so that they could do that uniform across the campus. And it's really up to the principals, but I know that through Wellness and through SHAC, they have brought this up. So it's just a matter of them taking advantage of it.
And the last question is the TAFID
Yes, ma'am.
conferences. I know the TAFID conferences have the body and mind connection, and that's the other thing, as I thought maybe looking at that.
Yeah, my background is actually, I used to teach at the University of Texas, El Paso in the kinesiology department, so I know how the brain works and the big connection, and so it's just a matter of getting the knowledge out there to teachers and knowing that an active brain will actually lead to better scores. And with TAFER, you know, going out there, and I try to take my teachers every year, I put it within my budget, and I promote it to the principals, so that way they can go out and see that, because there's a bunch of sessions with the brain breaks and with just brain connection, and then why we need the exercise. So I mean, it's great professional development, and we really recommend it.
And the TAFID, when I saw the TAFID, I saw the brain breaks. The one area I noticed that I didn't see at is the middle school.
And actually, in the brain breaks, the first one that took advantage of my brain breaks was actually Mr. Paz. And so he right away, so this was the first year that I started, so this was 3 years ago. And I actually did it at a leadership. We were invited to leadership at that point. And so during that time, I presented some of the brain breaks to the leadership, and he was the one who approached me right after and said, I need you to come out to my faculty and do this. So we did do it within CMS.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for the report. I read it twice, but I do think that the connection with TAFID, brain breaks, and the academics, I just thought that I wanted to bring that forward because I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, our TAFER organization actually right now, our 3 regional representatives are from Manateo, so we're very proud of that. And we took charge of bringing the regional TAFER back to El Paso. We haven't done it in probably about 15 years. And so yes. And so Yvonne Carrillo at Manateo Elementary and Cynthia Coronado at Damian Elementary are our regional reps with myself as well.
Well, thank you very much. The report was very telling, and I appreciate it.
Ms. Brigham, do you have another item to discuss?
Yes, was it 7?
It's 7?
Yeah.
And you're ready?
I'm so sorry,
No,
Madam President.
yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit, Miss Sonia. She's gonna finish, and then Mrs. Searles, and then we're gonna vote together.
Do you want me to go to 7?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the only question I had on 7 is when I read it, I still didn't understand it, Monty.
Yes, ma'am?
And so this is, University of Texas, are they going to be in the classrooms?
No, what they're going to be doing is working to create with teachers, to create maker spaces, which are hands-on things for students in pre-K. It's called a maker space, and so they'll be working on creating those at BC.
And the other thing is, since BC has so many special ed units, I was wondering if those units were included in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's for all the students to be involved in.
2 questions I had. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Rick. Go ahead, Mrs. Searles.
Yes. On the approval of the monthly financials, I'm looking, page 30, at the Kenya 2 Independent School District bond issue of 2011. Fund 692 and 93 construction budget analysis. And I'm looking at the weight room upgrades at CMS. Mr. Vasquez, you might be the one who could answer this.
The original scope of work for that project included what was going to be used as a wrestling room. but then the program did not continue and we don't have a wrestling team. So then the project was discussed with Coach Brooks, and he brought to our attention the fact that some of the overhang canopies on the entrances of that building were very rusted. And so we included that as part of, an upgrade for that facility, considering the safety issue of rusted overhang metal canopies.
And so is that facility still standing?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
They use it as a weight room now.
Okay, and it's being used?
It's being used.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. That
You're
was
welcome.
my question. Thank you, that's all. Thank you, Madam Brown.
Yes, ma'am. Just a point of clarification, always when we pull out an item, we vote on it, but this time we're gonna vote in items B4, A2, B1, B4, and B7.
Yes, ma'am. So
Thank you
we'll
very
go
much.
to
Go ahead.
A2? Yes, ma'am. All right,
So we're going to B4. First, we need to vote on mine, the one that I pulled out.
Okay.
We need to vote it, and then
You can do it all together.
B2, B1, B4, and B7. All of them together. And you second?
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Brigham?
Yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes?
Ms. Fritzie?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Searles?
Yes.
Ms. Trout?
Yes.
And Ms. Iglesias?
Yes.
Just to clarify, it has passed, everything, A2, B1, B4, B7 in one motion, okay?
Madam Chair?
Yes, ma'am?
May I know we've already approved the consent agenda, but may I ask a question of Dr. Beheel on
Yes.
item number 2?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Dr. Beheel, I asked you a question earlier today about the totals. Did that get taken care of?
Oh, I see. Okay, I think I can help you with that. So researching it, page 9 of the agreement, it says year 1, 2, and 3, we are to pay $27,410 per year. That's what our contract says.
Uh-huh.
So that being said, this year is correct. I did confirm with Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chair Chambers, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So going back, I looked when the board approved it, and what we paid in 2015 total was $16,870. That's what we paid out of the $27,000. Then we go to year 2016, and we paid $25,840, and then 2017 was $25,000. So we've been under.
Under the.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
And
that-
then, I know there was that mark.
Yeah,
in there
it was
that you
crossed
saw. That
out
wasn't a
with
current mark.
instead of 2,500 students or 2,700
You're
students.
absolutely
we're gonna
correct.
Do 1,700, so that was quite a bit of a
Well,
difference.
yeah, and that mark was there last year, because the contract's
Yes.
3 years old, and so I'm not sure who
Yeah,
put
with
that
that
in.
2016.
Yeah, I'm not sure who scratched that out.
2016, Dr. B?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it was brought to us back then, just like that one was brought to
So
us.
you're right, it's the same agreement.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But everything's good, we haven't overpaid, we haven't been overcharged, nothing like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Carrillo?
Well prepared. It was with my concern here, like we said, security and safety is our first priority for us, for our students. So thank you very much, Dr. Galaviz, to put this together. Thank you, Chief Carrillo. Thank you to each one of you officers, and thanks to all of you, each one of the board members to cooperate along with the staff. Thank you very much, and we learned a lot tonight.
Item number 10, new business, a discussion of possible action regarding the Ganadío Independent School District mission and vision.
Board of Trustees business.
Roll over, highway, let's see.
7A.
Thank you, Ms. Ritzie. 7A, a report regarding the SLI conference held in San Antonio and Fort Worth on June the 14th through the 16th and June 27th, 28th in different, Fort Worth. Mr. Rodriguez and Ms. Searles.
Go ahead, Mr. Rodriguez, and then Mrs. Searles.
Just real quick, one of the main things that we were able to accomplish in regards to Legislative Advisory Council, where we appointed Black members, conference, of course, had several good speakers, especially those in the session you had with Steve Gillard, Linda Wayman, and Roberto Rivera, which were all positive and encouraging speakers into it. I know there's several others. I was actually trying to log in, get the drill. So, if there's any questions.
Mrs. Hurst? Yes, I do have a question. Mr. Rodriguez, did you go to the Fort Worth session?
No.
I saw you there.
I was there, but not on
okay.
district business.
Okay. I went to the Fort Worth session for the first time, and it was very good, very small, very good. I attended the SB 1566, and I have to tell you, I heard something that I have never heard in all the years I've been hearing people teach us. It was the former TASB president, and SB 1566 is Governance for Improved Student Achievement. And she indicated that we need to make sure our churches play a part with our student achievement too. And that she felt that churches had not, that we kind of shied away from that a little bit. And that it was such a wonderful learning environment for students. And I thought that was a real takeaway. I went to an effective facilitation skills class, which was wonderful. Effective facilitation came down to 4 things: participation, ownership, everyone should be allowed to talk and be heard, and no one does any harm, which I think is very good for us to all remember and take into account. I went to several other good sessions, and the speaker at the general session was one of the best I ever had heard. He was an excellent speaker. I believe he was the same one for San Antonio. And if there's anything else I could add, please ask. I don't want to drone on too long.
Item B, report regarding the NALEO conference held in Phoenix, Arizona on June the 20th through the 24th, 2018.
Ms. Trout, do you have a preference of who goes first?
Well, that's fine. Go ahead, ma'am.
And Ms. Iglesias and I attended the same classes on Thursday, June 21st. And some of them spoke about our importance as making sure that our community is filling out the census, safety and security in classrooms, and how our kids can, how that can affect the school climate. Trying to find ways to get free broadband internet service to communities that need it. And then on Friday, we attended Financial Future for the Importance of Pension Fund, which was a little bit about making sure that as a school district we're giving good financial future for the employees. Criminal justice and reform and Latinos getting smart about jails. So a little bit about criminal justice reform. And then we talked a little bit, last session we attended was a blueprint for developing pipelines for Latina leadership and power, which I really enjoyed. And let's see, strategies for successful fundraising within schools, and then for elected officials as well. I really enjoyed the NALEO conferences every time because they are geared towards our population, which the majority of Latinos that we serve as elected officials, and they really help us open our eyes on what our population needs. And so I really enjoyed the NALEO conferences. Anything else that you would like to add, Ms. Gillespie?
Rodriguez, would you like to add something to this?
One of the new things that they actually did was number of technical assistance sessions. There they had a sort of you go to different places and setting up for census. Of course, that's one thing that I would like to see on our agenda or a plan in regards to how we're going to address it. We know that I don't know if you all are aware, but this coming census, they want to just make sure that it's just online and you have a computer, and so a lot of our money that we get from the census in regards to whether it's CDBG block grants, other funding sources that we get, they look at the census as a way, and so I want to make sure that we as a district are on the forefront in regards to being, whether it's outreach, whether it's accessibility, as we know many of our parents and our community members don't have access to computers, and so we need to make sure that they fill out those census forms. And then there's also this fear thing of census question in regards to that, and we know that census needs to make sure it takes an accurate count of each and every one of our community members, and so hopefully we can do outreach with that as well. So I'm hoping that that's something that look into, Dr. Galaviz.
Yes, and if I may, I'm sorry, Mr. Rodriguez, yeah, definitely, they really reiterated that we need to have maybe ask to see if it's actually legally possible for us to have libraries or something open where people can come in and do their census so that they are accounted for, and it's good because it brings more services to our community and they're accounted.
It also brings its representation in regards to whether they're looking at house seats or even the local, state, and the local stuff usually use census tracts for those representation areas.
It's been good, Rodriguez asked for that on a typo. Yeah.
That census? That's
Yes, please.
Census?
Please, yes. Some other comments? Next item?
Yes, ma'am. Report regarding the School Board President's Academy procedures and strategic communication skills for schools held in New Orleans on June the 30th through July the 2nd and 3rd. Ms. Trout, excuse me, Board President Trout.
Thank you. The Board President's Academy. This is one of the most interesting educational trainings that I ever had. When I learned about Robert Rules of Order, anyone who has ever attended to a civic organization business meeting has probably seen Robert Rules of Order in action. But what a few people know of the General Henry Martin Robert in 1870s was when he was asked to preside over a church meeting. Rather felt unequal to the task, he determined that never again attend a meeting without having some understanding of parliamentary law. In 1857, Robert graduated from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point with honors. Given the first engineering assignment in 1859, his manual was first published in 1876 to adopt the rules of practice of Congress and including major revisions in 1915 and 1970 with the name of Robert Rules of Order. We learn about parliamentary procedures, conducting business, rules of order, order of business, minutes, description of motion, particular effects of the motion, misuses of motions, privileged motions, subsidiary motions, limits of debate time, table, general consent consensus, voice and vote, roll call vote, abstention, action, incidental motions, point of order, point of information, reconsider meetings, sessions, recess, and adjournment. The strategic communication skills, effective communications practices, organized and a local approach, constructive communications, disruptions on meetings, and unprofessional behavior on the meetings. Bad listening habits, good listening habits, communicating with your superintendent, communicating with the board meetings, conflict with the board members, or conflict with the superintendent. Media training. This case for media, it gives us a good relation. It was given by Mr. Warren A. Bell. He's a journalist of a news director on TV programs and host and producer from early morning daily news for WBOK 4:30 a.m. radio in New Orleans. As a matter of fact, they have some minutes in the air, and they give us some scenarios, you know, the bubbles and things that we say when we talk and speak. And we really learn a lot. So the case for media relations, developing good communication with mass media, basic skills training, and understanding the difference between types of media, television, TV news coverage, communication, and access with the television. Media type, which is the radio, urban communication, news, and promotional opportunities. Types of print media, newspapers, magazines, weeklies. The newspapers are letters to the editor, articles, and community information where we could put something for our community, like a newsletters that we would like to say something good about the programs or something that we would like to address. It could be in a newsletter as well. And we could name letters to editor. Internet and social media, elements of achievement and a good media exposure. Basics in developing a public relations plans for your district. And 6 questions you should be able to answer, same as reported. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Internal news operation, internal news organization, know your local media, newsroom visits. Actually, we went to visit the news media, so they give us a drill how we could do it, how can we behave, not talk, and whatever we could say, and use a good posture. Building relationships with media, daily newspaper, what news reporters, and what news reporters don't want to know about us. Basic material for media kit. Writing a news or an event release, public service announcement, and also the no comment rule, and how to learn to say no thank you to an interview. Also fundamentals of a crisis plan, handling a social media negative, crisis communication, introductions and fundamentals of crisis plan, failure to communication. How to create an accurate, timely, and reliable information, truthful and opportune. Technology plays an important role in communication. Video, microphone. The use and clear tone of voice creates a positive communication and understanding. A good professional appearance is always important for yourself and for the audience. Remember that we are representing our district is a part of a professional presentation and duty. Always maintaining a positive relationship between our district and the public. Information should be logical, concise, precise, and punctual. Your listeners or readers will appreciate your being organized so they can follow your message from point to point. Thank you very much.
Item number D, report regarding the NOLO National Education Leadership and Public Policy Academy of Los Angeles, California. August the 3rd to the 5th, Mr. Rodriguez.
And I would like to, this was a great opportunity. This was the first time they actually had one, and I gotta say the UCLA campus is beautiful. In regards to this, I'll just go over the quick sessions if there's any questions after, but a conversation on challenges and opportunities for Latinos in the 21st century, academic attainment trends for Latino students, presentation of the Census 2020, dismantling the school to prison pipeline, transformative justice, increasing college access and opportunities for Latinos, a case study on transit and economic development, improving public trust in communities while addressing public safety, collateral consequences blurred lines between immigration and criminal law, restoring hope through reintegration. At the end of the whole conference, it was decision-making models and community-based public safety practicums, community-based policy proposals. So what they ended up doing was, how do you go from much to learn to creating policies to become effective?
Thank you.
Okay, item E, discussion and possible action regarding the appointment of a delegate assembly representative and an alternate. Ms. Trout?
I'll make a motion to have Ms. Trout as the delegate and Ms. Fritz as the alternate.
I'll second. I have,
Yes, ma'am?
Ms. Fritz isn't running for again. Is she going somewhere?
There's an opportunity for anybody to be an alternate at other people.
But what I'm saying is she traveling on the school's money when we know she's not running for the board?
Am I gonna run again?
It's just for this time around. It's just for.
You're not gonna be running for the board you did not sign up to run for the board again.
No, I cannot be on the ballot.
So my question is, why are you going
to use school district money when you won't be finishing your, terms up.
I am finishing.
Well, I know, but
I still have to do my job as an elected official from November, Missouri.
I understand that, but I think it's a little interesting you'd be spending the district's money to do such when you know you're not running. That's all. Thank you.
So what's the motion and a second?
No, there was just a motion.
Or there was a motion?
Yeah, I seconded.
Okay,
Ms. Iglesias seconded.
all right, and this is for Ms. Trout to be the delegate. Ms. Brigham?
Yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Ms. Fritzie?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
Yes, but I would like for the record my comments added that she won't be running and she's spending school district money to go.
This is for my vote, not for Mrs. Fritzie. But I'm not
But I would
running.
like my comments, yes, and I.
Addressed to Mrs. Fritzie or to Mrs.
No, for the record.
Yeah, but the vote is for me, not for Mrs. Fritzie.
Oh, only for you, not the two?
No.
Oh, yes, for you.
No, it's for both.
For both at the same time or just one at a time?
No, both at the same time, they were both. Yes.
Because, okay. For clarification point, can you please repeat in your motion, what is it, Mrs. Gomez? Can you please say it again?
Okay, I believe that there was a motion made by Mr. Rodriguez, seconded by Mrs. Iglesias to appoint Ms. Trout as the delegate and Ms. Fritzie as the alternate. And I assume you all are voting on it one time.
One time.
Okay, there's
Yes,
clarification.
ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's start that vote again.
No,
Can we stop and,
I voted yes.
For both?
Yes.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, so then now, Mrs. Iglesias,
Yes.
motion passes. I'm sorry, Mrs. Trout?
yes.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you. Please take us to the next item. I think it's me.
Yes, 8, public hearing regarding the 2018-2019 property tax rate.
A public hearing will be held right now regarding to the 2018-2019 property tax rate. The public is invited to attend and provide public comment at this time. Ms. Pekarsky? If there is any comment from the board or from the public, you may do it right now. If there's no comment, then I would like to move to approve the 2018-2019 maintenance and operation tax rate at set $117 per $100 of valuation.
I'll second.
There was a motion and a second. Ms. Brigham? Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Ms. Fritzie?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Second item, I move to approve the 2018-2019 interest sinking fund tax set as 0.36 per $100 valuation. Is there any second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
There was a motion and a second. Ms. Brigham? Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Ms. Fritzie?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
And Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes. Point
I-
number 3, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Item 3, go ahead, Ms. Trout.
Consider approval of resolution which officially levies the tax rate for the 2018-2019 school year. The motion, I move to approve the board resolution which officially levies with a tax rate of 2018-2019 school year in the amount approved for the maintenance of operations at the sinking pump. Is there any second?
I second.
Thank you.
There was a motion and a second. Ms. Brigham?
Yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Ms. Fritzie?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Searles?
Yes.
Mrs. Trout?
Yes.
Mrs. Iglesias?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you.
Next item?
I believe now we are at the end.
10A.
New business. Discussion and possible action regarding the Canantillo
No,
Independent
no,
School.
you got C1.
C1.
Or was that in the?
Yeah, no, we already,
Okay, sorry.
1, 2, and 3 points, we already moved it and we approved it, Mrs. Searles. So now we're going to
10A.
10A. Discussion and possible action regarding the Canantillo Independent School District mission and vision statement.
Is there any comments from the board about the new vision mission statement? Go ahead, Ms. Brigham.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Elvis? Okay, I'm a little perplexed. The reason being
Your microphone is not on, Miss.
Sorry, okay. I'm just, first of all, I like the district goals, okay? What I was looking at, so we kind of pushed the biliterate out the door. Okay, what I noticed. And second is, when I looked at that, you know, I don't know, I've always thought one gets wanted, it gets done. And I'm afraid, especially, you know, we had that wonderful presentation, City, that our kids need to be bilingual. We have to have ELLs and we have to have SLLs. Now, our Spanish language learners, which we're woefully behind, and our ELL, which we need to be more excel, I would say, in, you know, in high school and middle school. So I just had a little concern. That's all, sir.
No, your concern is, this is following the model of Lone Star governance, having more than two words.
Oh, no, I like, yes.
And that is why first and second grade literacy in both languages is monitored. And then that's why, again, now we're looking at the master's performance. We've had some awesome training things that Ms. Rocha and her crew and Dr. Behill speak forward about many of our kids that are mastering, are not mastering, they're going backwards. So the analogy of the lead forward, gentlemen, is that we keep pushing the string versus pulling the string. So concentrating on the masters is making sure that all kids don't go backwards. So that's why it's having that overarching goal of first and second grade literacy in both languages, and masters from all kids, from special ed to allow, making sure all kids are mastering.
I'm sorry, sir, which one was that? What goal was that?
There are two.
Yeah, I had trouble with the orange writing, sir. So.
That's why I had to go away from it.
Yeah, I know, yes, thank you, it works. Increase the measurement of the master's index by 15% point, reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. I just, you know, you know, I'm just one voice, sir. I'm just saying, I know how hard, in 30 years, how hard it's been implementing the dual language program. And I know how much money we spent on it. And I get in the first and second grade, boy, do I get that. You know, it's not like I don't get it, but I'm still saying, in order to get a literate, a bilingual literate, it's got to be beyond second grade. And I understand the mastery. I just feel a little uncomfortable not having that, especially with our population. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you know, maybe I need a little bit more time for it to gel and read.
That's why I brought it today. Usually I bring it next month.
And what else? And thank you, Dr. Galvez. The other thing that I think it's kind of go hand in hand, Dr. Galvez, was the improvement plan. So maybe my fears would go down once I saw the improvement. You know what I mean? So, but when I saw that, the educator in me just went. Because of, we've been struggling so hard trying to implement a good dual language program, and we have absolutely excluded the Spanish language learner. And if we don't have both kids totally literate, then we're not going to be people that are going to hold those jobs. They'll hold the low-end jobs, but not the management jobs. Some of the that might be coming to our region. So I just felt that people were tonight at this. I'm just.
And I think with, again, Strocher talked about our rating. Great thing the state of Texas wants to come down and talk about, see what we're doing with our dual language program.
It's just concerns.
No, it's noted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any more comments from the board, Ms. Princey?
I just would like to see, something, and it's all up to you, Dr. Rodriguez, but maybe put in there, wanted to, kids that are multicultural, you know, because we live on the border, and I would like to see our kids be exposed to different cultures, and know their own culture, whatever it may be. And I think I would like to see multicultural zone work.
In our vision?
Yes, in the vision.
So we could add it in a kind of TISD is a premier
Yes.
multicultural district, which envisions it, doesn't it? Is that where
Yes,
you want it or somewhere else?
Yes, in the vision, because I think, you know, our populations are changing. We're getting people from everywhere now, and I think it's important that we embrace those different cultures and that they know that they will be embraced here.
So maybe that word could be added to the vision. The groups agree? Thank you. Someone else, Mrs. Searles, would you like to add something too?
Well, I just had a question, Dr. Galvez, why wasn't the board involved in any?
I think, you know, I'm going on my 5th year in receiving grading. It's just to simplify the vision, mission. So I felt out of the board wants us to be innovative, future focused, so it really opens it up. What I'm trying to do, and I think, you know, I was just trying to.
Because I really like your goals. I think they're awesome.
I do too.
But when I saw the vision and mission statement, I've never had one of those done where there was no board input on the front end.
And there was no staffing.
You just got that up?
Came up,
Sir?
slides, that's why I'm bringing
you know,
it forward.
The others, and I look on the paper with hashtag Be Canyon TO. We were Go Canyon TO, now we're Be. I kind of like Canyon TO, sure. Yeah.
It's something that we could add to the vision and mission if the board is agree. In talking about the,
Well, it was just my suggestion. I like Canyon TO True. I like the new Eagle. I like Establish 1911. Like the goals, and I do have to echo Ms. Brigham's concern too, though. And yet, what I'm hearing from you is we're covered with our vision to be multi-literate. No, cultural comes from, you know, interest about an hour of your own. But literate, you've got to learn it. And that concerns me that we moved away. I know Ms. Trout has her initiative of the French Club, hoping towards that goal. It just seems to me that somewhere in there, and I know when I ask you about it before you go somewhere down the road, we can see this happen. But I think it's something that we ought to value, stress, and hope to accomplish sometime that we will have. I know Mr. Joyner comes here and chews on us regularly that his kids were here forever and a day. They didn't walk away speaking any more Spanish than they did when they got here. I don't know about your kids. My kids speak really good Spanish. But they didn't learn it in school. They learned it in the multicultural area that we live in. So is there any thought that you would like to, or do you feel comfortable?
No, again, I sort of at the will of the board. I go back, I was just.
But I mean, what?
Yeah, it's a good, and what I'll do is I'll take another stab at it.
Okay.
In addition.
And maybe modify or?
Focusing on our dual language, sharing.
and adding,
For both, yeah, so.
for example,
I think it also is a huge selling point for us.
for example, here in our vision,
Yes, that's fine. Go ahead.
something else? Something else? I just want to add something and.
Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
For example, here in the vision as well, future-focused learning for every public school. Can we add, for example, I don't know, future-focused learning with excellence in a quality education? Because we want it to be
Yeah.
that's what we wanted to, excellent in the quality education. That's what we really want to. That's what we really worry as a trustees.
I think, yeah.
With the quality education, I like excellence. I like to see excellence because I love that word. I know even we're not excellent, but we aiming to.
And that should be, but that's a vision.
Well,
But that's a vision.
it's a vision. Well, it's a vision. It's a vision.
A vision is to go for the stars.
Here?
Yeah.
It's here?
Yes.
Vision Canutía is a premier district. Well, okay, with a quality. With something. Excellence with quality education. All that I wanted to see the word education here. With a good quality. Something that really sounds with power. That we, what is our vision here?
I like
Of students and education. Oh,
So
go ahead,
Mr.
Mr. Sasha. Is that?
So, Madam Chair, I would like to then move to postpone this.
Oh, we have some comments from Mr.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Coronado and then.
There's one thing that this vision statement for the last 10 years, we've kind of sought and separate. And I think we're at the point now that I think we need to step it up a notch. And I think what we ought to do is, in terms, and it's great that we use, that we want to be excellent, and those are good terminology, but I'd like a little more teeth or grit to our statement. And maybe what we should consider is saying is that we want to be, the manner of instruction that we want to do provide our students is rigorous and with, you know.
I love rigorous.
Rigorous.
Um, I think it's time that we, yeah, as some of our philosophers says, you know, sometimes it's not where you're reaching, it's how the process of getting there is what you want to focus on. And I think our process have some focus, and I think it should be a rigorous process. I mean, I'm just throwing that out to see that, I think it's.
Yeah, good word, rigorous is a good
Yeah,
one.
so maybe we could adopt this and come with better scope.
Madam Chair, I think, but I really like Dr. Galaby. I love the word future focus. I absolutely love that. And I like in the mission, of course, you know, the student centered. The one word in the mission that I didn't think is, that I thought we could do just as strong was sustain. You know, like what you were saying, Mr. Coronado. But I love the 4 goals. If you could keep the 4 goals and add a language component in one of them, I think, or like maybe in 2 of them, that would be excellent. Because I do know, coming out of the district, trying to aim at 7 goals is kind of hard. So I do like that, but I'm open, and you know, I'll put my brain on it, but I really think one of the big selling points for us would be a new language. And we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that. Like Chris was saying, our population is changing. However, if we're going to attract the businesses that's the same we want a totally literate and not just one language. I think 3 languages would be superb. You know, and so I'm saying, I don't know how to do it, Dr. Galaby, but you know, sprinkle your magic on it.
No,
We can come up.
Let's see.
taking notes, slides is taking.
I see.
Go back,
Thank you for listening.
CIP.
Oh, one thing is the CIP, yeah, you know, I love the CIPs.
I think there's a motion on the floor from Mrs. Earls. Would you like to add a comment?
I have one more comment, and this is simply, it just seems redundant to me to say you've got mission, and then our mission is. Under vision, you don't put our vision is, so I think that could be cleaned up too.
Yeah.
And with that, yes, there's a motion to postpone this until September.
Is there any second?
Second.
A motion and a second.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Galatea.
Ms.
Thank
Bray.
you, Dr. Galavis.
We're voting now.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Coronado?
Yes.
Ms. Britzy?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mrs. Sterling?
No action on this item.
There's no action in place?
Well, it wasn't an action item.
Yeah, it says discussion and possible action.
Right, we did.
So, is there any action in this? We need to vote on that? No, we're just.
We're just doing.
Okay, okay. So the next item is, what is the next item?
So B, discussion and possible action regarding the district improvement plan. I believe that also wants to.
Was covered.
To be massaged, and we'll postpone that one also. Okay. Item number 11, it is adjournment. The time is 8:35.
And the time is now 20 hours with 36 minutes, 8 o'clock at night with 36 minutes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, trustees. Thank you, administration. Thank you, Dr. Galavis. Thank you, legal. Have a good night, everybody.
And I believe everyone, there's a cake to celebrate the A rating, so please join us for some cake with the board
Yay.
president.
Thank you.